Welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, as always, I want to say nervous for some reason, the still sick with some sort of a cold that is not COVID, the ever-present behind the microphone, ready to bring you another deck, Dr. Yukon Suck It. I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you an interesting Riveteers deck, aka JUND, which I'm referring to as JUND Orfeo. I found this over on Aether Hub, and it was put together by zvmzvm. I don't know how to pronounce that. So thank you very much for posting that deck. I appreciate trying something new. It looked interesting, and I thought, let's check this one out. So let's check out this deck, see if we can find out what make it tick, and then we'll take it out on the track and put it through a few laps. At the low end, we got Strangle. So we got one of the better creature planeswalker killers out there right now. In the red category, does 3 points of damage. We've got Tamiyo Safekeeping. For 1 green, target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible. So you're going to keep something alive, and luckily it says target permanent, which means you can use it to protect more than just creatures. And you'll gain 2 life. Infernal Grasp, one of the best artwork out there. Look at that thing. For 2 mana, you can destroy target creature, and you lose 2 life. You know, I'm beginning to think this isn't necessarily the best black creature remover spell out there. I kind of like in Chieftain's Bloodthirst, I think, right now a little bit better. I think it's got more utility than this one. But, I mean, the artwork more than makes up for it. Oh, I like those thorny arms, too. Prosperous Innkeeper. So he's a 1/1 for 2, and when he comes into play, he gets you a treasure token. So this is some, like, green ramp, essentially. And nice work is afterwards, he's not completely useless, because anytime a creature comes into play under your control, you gain a life. So he also affects the tempo of the game and letting you stay in there a little bit longer. Hungry for more? Well, it's interesting. So you get a 3/1 vampire with trample, lifelink, and haste. So you're getting like 3 life out of her, and it's going to probably do some damage, and it's going to attack. But you have to sacrifice it at the end of the next end step. So you're only paying 2, and you're getting it out. So the good news, if you have like a Prosperous Innkeeper out, then you're also going to gain an additional life off the deal. So basically, it's a lot of life gain and a little bit of damage towards your opponent, and you can play it early when perhaps they're not fully set up. They'll probably end up taking all 3 points of damage because the early creatures they'll have out will just die, and it's not like you're going to have that creature out afterwards. So why wouldn't they block it? Why would they when they can just leave their creature out? So it's hard to say if this is a good card or not. I don't really know why they put this in here. I don't really see what the point of it is, but we'll find out. We got Kalain, the Reclusive Painter. So she comes out and gives you a treasure token, much like the Prosperous Innkeeper. And then anytime a creature comes into the battlefield under your control, they get an additional +1/+1 counter for each mana that was paid to cast them that came from a treasure. So that's a thing. Like she's painting a nice Displacer Beast there. We got the Meathook Massacre. And when it's out, anytime one of your creatures die, your opponent loses a life. So that's going to be more life being lost from things like the Hungry, from more Vampire, which dies at the end of the turn. Anytime one of their creatures die, you gain a life. So that's more life gain for you. And then you can also use this as a board wipe if you can pump enough mana into it. I suggest don't wait too long. The other 2 advantages are very beneficial to you. We got Ob Nixilis. And you can put him out. Now he's got casualty. So if you sacrifice one of your other creatures, a good one to sacrifice would be the Vampire from Hungry to More, because they get the casualty means that the second version of Ob Nixilis you'll build, because you have 2 of them, will be equal to the power of whatever creature you sacrificed. So if you could sacrifice Hungry for More, then you'd have you'd have 2 Ob Nixilises with 3 loyalty, which would be fantastic. Because otherwise, if you're sacrificing a Prosperous Innkeeper or a Kalain, then it's only a 1. And so the +1 on these are each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card. So it forces them to discard unless they feel like losing 2 life. And if you control a demon or a devil, which we haven't made any thus far, then you gain 2 life. So, but the -2 ability is create a 1/1 devil token. Look at her over there in the to the right. I like the devils here in New Capenna. They seem to have a lot more personality. Feels like rabbits with those ears, right? And when a devil dies, it deals 1 damage to a target. So, and that's a really good ability. I like it a lot. I like the fact because you can go after creatures or you go after players, which is nice to take them down by 1 more. Also, then by putting out that devil, that you get that 2 life deal. So you know what? This deck is really giving you a lot of life gain. It doesn't really seem like it, but it is. So you can weather a lot more damage because of everything we've looked at so far. At the end, you got target player draws 7 card and loses 7 life. So if you can get Ob Nixilis up to 7, that potentially could kill your opponent, or you can draw 7 cards, which would be fantastic probably. And I bet with all the life game we got going on, you could probably afford the 7 life yourself. And we got Riveteers Charm. So you get to choose one of the following. Target opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker they control at the highest mana value amongst the creatures and planeswalker they control. Great. Helps thin out the herd, especially the most expensive they got over there. Then we exile or you can exile the top 3 cards of your library until your next end step you may play those cards. That's a nice effect if you got nothing better to do. And then we got exile target player's graveyard if they're playing a lot of recursion spells, graveyard recursion, where they got like flashbacks, stuff like that you don't want to deal with anymore. So Riveteers Charm's got a nice trio of utilities, a Swiss Army Knife card, and you shouldn't have any problem playing it because those 3 colors are pretty easy to come across with the mana base that we have. Got the Security Rhox. Costs you 4 and he's a 5/4. That guy's got some brawn. But you may pay 2 rather than pay the spell's mana cost, spend only mana produced by treasures. So we got some treasures being pumped out here by the Painter and the Innkeeper. We don't got a lot, but if you have, you can put this guy out on turn 2 potentially. So keep that in mind while we're playing, that we can get this guy out way early. And lastly, one of the things we named this deck after was Mr. Orfeo the Boulder. Orfeo. So he costs 4 to put out, and he's a 2/4, so he's kind of weak for a rhinoceros guy, for a rhino warrior. But whenever you attack, you double target creatures' power until the end of the turn. So you get to pick which creature, and it doesn't necessarily need Mr. Orfeo. That's probably the reason why he's just a 2, is because if it's just him, then he'd be a 4. The good news is that if you also had a Security Rhox out, you'd be doing 10 points of damage with that. Unfortunately, he doesn't trample. You know who does trample? Hungry for More. And she'd be doing 6 points of damage in that situation with lifelink. So that might be a really good place to put that double damage if you get the opportunity. All right, the land category, we got basic land, basic land, basic land. Some fast dual lands there. And we got a quadroon of, I'm assuming it's Riveter. Tri-lands there, this cycle. Nothing in the sideboard, that's the deck. Let's take it out and see how well it does. All right, playing against Joh'utti. Yeah, guess all the good names are already taken. All right, 2 mana. And, God, I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, let's try 2. Let's see what we can do. Alright, looks like he's ready to play finally. Go for a black. So we're going to slip into the painter to start off with, which will get us a treasure that looks very familiar. Oh, sure. Prevent them from being able to make use of any benefits from that. We'll do the old devil discard combo. Menace. Can't do much about that. All right, there's our 4th mana. We now have a Security Rhox. Discard, my friend. Take your life. No tax. Well, that didn't last for long. All right, set the ability to destroy up to 3. That's not going to last long, though. Okay, we got our life. Oh, I need another black to Meathook Massacre. Okay, the only trick I have here is the Tamiyo Safekeeping the devil, which will protect Ob Nixilis for a turn. Coming in hard and fast. Pass to blockers. 1 blocker. Who's going to be safe from your rage and inglorious behavior. Touch the precious. Somebody's being greedy. All right, that's pretty sweet, actually. Let's pause our damage. Why isn't this an instant? That's what I don't understand. There's a big old fat dragon. Treasure tokens are treasure tokens, my friend. Alright, well, Gnawbones could take Ob Nixilis out at this point. Will he do it? Yeah, he will. Alright, I've got 36 life. And I got a single shot vampire here. I get that Orfeo guy. I got a treasure. I got a treasure. I got a treasure. Hey, 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 hey. I don't believe you have any cards in your hand. And that's it. He's down to 2. They give him a life. I just draw a card. That's what he gets. And 7 tokens your way, my friend. Have a good time. Let's clear the decks a little bit. Another treasure? The problem is he's got a block from now on. He can't do anything with that Gnawbones unless he gets another creature. One more death. Yeah, no, he's dead next turn. Because if I attack and he blocks, and my guy dies, he's dead. If he attacks me and he doesn't block, then he dies. There we go. There's the winner, chicken dinner. Victory! Alright, playing against Sono Vivik 15. Sono Vivik. Alright, I guess. 2 mana. That's my. I do not play with 2 mana. We'll keep this one. We got 3 in this case. Who are we getting rid of here? Security Rhox. Sorry, you are too expensive at this point. And 2 more life for me. Right, and he's only at 2 mana now. Oh, that sucks to be you, suckerfish. I've used her for what I can use her for. Now shall she become an Ob Nixilis? Yoink. Alright, you shall create the devil, and you shall create the discard. We're playing Dire Strain Rampage. Well, I got practically nothing to keep alive here, though. Permanent, huh? Got out Orfeo. And now this guy's going to do double his damage. 2 rather than 1 point of damage. They really wanted Ob Nixilis gone. I'm hoping we can get rid of any creature he puts out for blocking. And let's see, we'll be coming in next turn for 6. He is trying to get himself some lands there. All right, I guess I had to hold together, man. 2 more points, that's all we need. Don't wipe the board, don't wipe the board, don't wipe the board. That's perfectly fine with me. And we win. Suck it, Sono Vivek. We're playing against RGP 4224. And we got 3 mana. None of them are red, though. This will get us a token. All right. We got a path forward. It's a slow path, though. And the touch is precious, though. Touched it. Does this guy have some landfall deck going on here? White. Reclusive Painter will get us another token. And some life. We're going for the fast punches here. Boy, he's taking a long time to build his lands up, though. Looks like we are too, though. All right, they don't have any more red, so let's put this one out. We cannot play Hungry for More. But we can attack for 2. Where are our creatures at? Oh, he's going to destroy all of our creatures. What a waste. Alright, now we got nothing. Exit top 3 cards of your library until you end your next turn. You may play those cards. Might have to end up pulling that card out. That's just ridiculous. Old Rolstein. We're shy on the red, aren't we? Just got one. We got 2 blacks to pull us forward. What's going to happen here? Okay, well, 2 blacks will help a little bit. I'll be able to put this guy out. Let's do it as a green. That's fine. Let's kill Rodelstein. Plenty of life there. And I guess I could have got us some life there. There we go. That wasn't a complete waste. Wait, he's fighting for land, and I was getting some hits in. Nothing significant, and I was building nothing this entire time. This is a slow, painful process. Here's my 2 heavy hitters. Reclusive Painter and Prosperous Innkeeper. He's going to waste a Doomscar getting her off the board again. I have to kill her by Doomscar, or kill them by Meathook Massacre again, 1 death at a time. Touch the precious. I kind of make me target an opponent when there's just one opponent. Gotta go through the motions, though. Alright, this game is going to be like pulling teeth. Nice. Unfortunately, without my Meathook Massacre, I'm not getting the kills I need here. Oh, look what I got again. This is getting ridiculous. What is up with the shuffler? What, like 30 cards of crap? Finally, something. Something with a little meat on it. That's good. And, of course, the creature kill. He's got the mana for it. I think that's it. We're dead. Let's go for it, bud. I'll give you the victory. Oh, the pain. Eat. All right, so this is JUND Orfeo, and it did, fairly well. As far as taking some victories, here, the way it seems to me is that this deck, it gets out and it tries to just apply some constant aggressive damage to your opponent. And then hopefully they're just unable to put up a resistance to it. And then eventually you're just doing double the amount of damage for, maybe the Security Rhox or something at the end. Because, him times 2, that's 10 points of damage, which is fantastic. My problem with this deck is that it's all based upon the idea that Mr. Orfeo there is going to make one of your creatures have double damage, I guess, right? The problem is that in your deck, you got, this guy can put out a guy that can do 1 point of damage. He does 1 point of damage. She does 3 point of damage. That's 1 point of damage right there. There wasn't a lot of creatures that are putting out any sort of realistic damage there. The other problem is that there's no card draw to help you get to Mr. Orfeo. So you're really just hoping that some point in your 60 card deck, you're going to draw one of the 3 of them. And with only 3 of those in, what's the thing? If you put 4 cards in, you're probably going to see it at least once in when you draw. If you have 3, there's a chance you may not see it at all. So for a deck that's based upon Mr. Orfeo, only having 3 of them in there and no card draw really seems like you're setting yourself up for not being able to use them at all. And I'm not sure the deck really holds up well to do anything otherwise. So yeah, I'm not sure this is a great deck. It seems interesting. I feel like we learned something. What did we learn? What did I learn exactly here? I actually, no, I didn't really learn anything. Man, I don't know. I'm really puzzled here what to say about it. Let's just go to the ratings on this. So is this deck competitive? I don't think you're going to win the ladder on it. I'm not sure. I mean, here's the deal: is I played 3 games with it. I won 2 out of 3, and in the 2 that I did win, the deck seemed to do fairly well. In the 3rd game, it just seemed like I was getting lands, Prosperous Innkeepers, and the Painter, right? And it just seemed like it was more of a shuffler problem than anything else. But in the ones that I did win, why did I win them? And it's because the deck did a good job of applying consistent issues against people. It was able to apply damage regularly, and it was able to control the other creatures to a certain degree. So I guess in a very basic way, it does very basic-y kind of stuff. So is it competitive? I'm going to give it a middling on this one. As far as the theme of it, I kind of dig the whole JUND vibe. It's black, red, green. It seems very Riveter if you start looking at it from the Streets of New Capenna kind of way. You got Rhoxes, you got Riveteers Charm. Even Ob Nixilis himself seems very much like a part of the theme. I'm going to give it a theme. I'm going to say it seems very Riveter. I'm down with that. And then lastly, as far as fun, I'm not saying it's not fun. It's not super fun either. I'm going to give it a middling. So I'm going to give this deck a B+. I think that it was decent. I think it has some potential, yet it seems to be lacking a certain spark to it that makes you feel like you're playing something decent. I kind of felt like I was trudging through mud a lot with it. And I just don't think it definitely exists entirely in the creature realm, and anybody who's going to play outside of that is going to completely flummox this deck. So, yeah, so there you go. And if you choose to play this deck, I hope you have more fun with it than I did.
That's it for now. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time. Later.